And for this part, what you want to do is set up something that you can actually tack on your pieces of cord to. So there you go. After you've tied both your sides here, you can pass your bead, your hollow bead, through the hole here, and that just goes around your neck, and it should stay in place. And what we'll do to clean up these ends here is just cut them a little bit more flush, and then add a little bit of clear nail polish towards the end of there. We'll just finish it off nicely. And when it comes to putting it onto your paddle that you just made, just going to wrap around the paddle this way, and you're going to do the same kind of knot, kind of slip knot right there, and that'll hold it in place. And there you have it. You have your paddle that you made pendant from the day, and the cord that you just wove this afternoon. Yeah, so when you're attaching this to your paddle, just make sure that when you pull it, pull the cord around, that the ends are even. That way it falls nicely on your neck. And then you're going to do the same technique here. So you're just going to take your extra piece of cord, create the loop in the end there, hold that up against the edge there, and just start wrapping. What I'm using here is just basically a piece of wood that I've clamped down to my work board, and then I put a nail in there where I'm going to put the cord onto. That way I can use two hands to put it together. So you'll have 3 pieces of loose cord, equal lengths. Like I said, it's about an arm length to make a nice length cord. And for this one here, to start off with, you're just going to put a light little knot in it, and really the knot is for holding the strands together once you finish the cord. There's a little bit different technique. You can just tie it to that piece of wood if you want, or to that nail, sorry, and then you can start braiding it. So it's really an easy technique for braiding. If you've never braided before, you'll always have your pieces of cord laid out. There's going to be 2 on one side, 1 on the other. And when you're braiding, have you ever braided somebody's hair before, perhaps, like an older sister or whatnot? What you're going to do is you're going to take that furthest outside cord, so the one on the 2 strand, and you're going to pull it across to the other side, so that is underneath that other cord that's there. And now you'll have the yellow piece here, which is the furthest away, and what you want to do is you want to bring that over to the other side, and now you're starting to braid. So it's always the furthest outside cord that you want to use. And so this next one is going to be blue, and you always want to put it on the inside of that other next piece there, that other piece. And then you can just continue to make your cord. So whatever outside cord is the furthest is the one that you want to put into the middle. Yeah, so now that you have braided your cord to the length that you want, it's time just to tie off the ends. What I've done is just put a really loose little knot at the end of this, just so that when you're working with it, it actually doesn't start unraveling for you. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to put an extra piece of cord around here to make a loop, and then that way we can tie it together like this, so it loops back on itself. And when you put your bead or your piece of wood onto the end of your cord, it's just going to fit through that little hole nicely. So what you'll need for this part is just tie off the end here, and you're just going to make a small loop at the very end. It doesn't need to be very big, maybe maybe the last inch cord or so, maybe an inch and a half of cord, and just enough so that you can actually pass through whatever you're going to put on the other side of your cord with this bead. And then you're going to take an extra piece of string here, and just like this end of the cord, you're going to make a loop that comes back on itself at the very end here. This is to help to slip the cord back through. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. So yeah, so you're gonna take that loop and you're gonna lay it over, just over top of your piece of cord here, and you want enough so that when you're wrapping up your cord, there's a little extra piece that comes out of the end here, and that piece you're actually gonna pull through with your you're gonna pull the other string around, or pull the other string through with it. You'll show what you mean in a second here. So that little extra string is gonna lay off the front here, and then you're gonna cinch it up. Just hold it where you want to start your piece of cord with, so that your loop's at the end. Your extra string loop, the end of that piece of cord has come all the way through as well. And then with the cord itself, you're just gonna start wrapping it around. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna start it from the front here, and you can do a couple little wraps, as you can see, that are going towards the end, and then just reverse it. And all you really want to do is maybe just put on 2 or 3 of these. You don't need much. What it's doing is just holding that piece in place. All you want to do is actually just hold that loop on your cord in place. So just a couple wraps, and you'll see in a second. So there you go, just 2 or 3 wraps, and with that end of the cord that you have now, you're actually going to stick it into that loop that you made in the beginning of this wrap. And what's going to do is you can hold that, you put that through that loop of the extra loop of the end of the loop that you made, that you wrapped around your cord, and you're going to put the end of the string, when you finish your 4 wraps, you're going to put it through the whole of that loop. And what you do now is to cinch it on there, what you're going to do is you're going to actually pull the cord towards itself, and you can see it kind of moving up. You'll see that cord move up, and you want to pull that whole loop through. Just cinch it in place, okay? And then you can pull it back with the other string. You just keep maneuvering in place and tighten it down, and what it does is just creates this nice little wrap at the end here with the extra string. It's a bit of a tug of war, so just give it a good tug and make it so it's nice and tight. You can just pull both sides. So once you've done that, you can see the loop is created at the end of your woven cord, and you'll have all these extra pieces lying around, and you'll just trim them off. So you'll just take yourself a pair of scissors or a knife, and you can just trim them off. And with mine, you can just, since I got a little straight knife here, I can cut it off nicely here. And all these cords here that you have left over on your piece of woven string, you can actually just cut it off right here, and then trim it up closer with a pair of scissors to get that done. Or you can just put it onto the wood here, just like I'm doing, and just cut that right flush to that piece there. And when you finish it off, you can just cut it off with, you can just put some nail polish on the end, and that will just bind that up nicely. And there you go. You have yourself a the end part of your wrap. And you're going to do the same thing with this end now too, so you can pull that right off there. This side we're going to do a little bit different with, in the sense that we're going to actually put the bead onto it. So just hold it down where the knot was, or just hold it nice and firmly at the top here so the knot doesn't come undone, or so that the woven piece doesn't come undone. Slip that whatever piece you're going to put at the very end of your cord, and you're going to put it down there, and then you'll have pulled the cord through. And you're going to do the same thing with this part here. You're going to make that loop around there as well. So there you go. After you've tied both your sides here, you can pass your bead, your hollow bead, through the hole here, and that just goes around your neck, and it should stay in place. And what we'll do to clean up these ends here is just cut them a little bit more flush, and then add a little bit of clear nail polish towards the end of there. We'll just finish it off nicely. And when it comes to putting it onto your paddle that you just made, just going to wrap around the paddle this way, and you're going to do the same kind of knot, kind of slip knot right there, and that'll hold it in place. And there you have it. You have your paddle that you made pendant from the day, and the cord that you just wove this afternoon. And pull the cord around that the ends are even. That way it falls nicely on your neck. And then you're going to do the same technique here. So you're just going to take your extra piece of cord, create the loop in the end there, hold that up against the edge there, and just start wrapping.